I call the December Planning Commission meeting to order. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll acknowledge the quorum. And I'll hear a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion to approve the minutes in a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on items that are not listed in the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to stormwater management plans. LTPC 337 Grofftown Interceptor Stormwater Management Waiver Request, and it's listing as a briefing item.
So I'll be handling the briefing on behalf of the applicant. This is a sewer line that's proposed to run from Dark Container on the east side of Conestoga River, under the Conestoga River, and tie into the pump station that's adjacent to the city's operations center. Now, the city operations center is within the jurisdiction of Lancaster Township. Our boundary starts in the center of the Conestoga. So anything that's from the center of the Conestoga to that pump station, that's within our jurisdiction. Stuff that's to the east of that is not. That's other municipalities, either East Lancaster or, again, the city. So there are a couple different things that are going on. One is a sewage facility planning that the Board of Supervisors have already acted on, but then there's also stormwater management. And this type of a project normally would be handled as a minor land disturbance plan that the Planning Commission wouldn't typically get involved in. It's usually is processed at the staff level, but there are two things. One is it exceeds the maximum allowed area of disturbance of 5,000 square feet. It exceeds it by 6,500. So it's 6,500 plus 5,000, that's 11,500 square feet of disturbance. 8,000 of that, though, is in the water of the Conestoga River. So there's not a whole lot that's going on that will be changing grading or anything. There's no additional impervious area. There's really no changing of drainage patterns. It's pretty much a pro forma kind of thing. Plus, it's all in the floodplain, and we don't typically allow minor land disturbances on properties that are that have any floodplain unless there's a modification request. And we've done this quite a few times in the past, but it's always through Planning Commission and Board of Supervisors to approve the modification requests. So that's in essence what the project is, and what the request before you is tonight is to allow a modification, to allow a minor land disturbance on this, even though it exceeds the 5,000 square feet and even though it is within the floodplain.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions? Planning Commission?
I have a couple. For awareness, so we're here to look at a modification for our disturbance area. Like you said, that was part of the project. So is there also, do you know, I don't even, for the East Lampeter Township portion, was there also a disturbance request, or they have?
I have no idea.
We don't know that, okay. That was again just for awareness, thinking about the whole thing comprehensively. A couple things though for our part. It says that the riverbed is currently cobbles and boulders. Will it be restored as cobbles and boulders?
Yes, as part of their DEP permit.
Okay.
So outside of our permitting, they have to get a very extensive permit from DEP to do this kind of work
Yeah.
in the Conestoga River bed.
Okay. And do you know, it just says during dry weather. Is there a certain time of year that they would want to be doing this to avoid like the fisheries impacts or anything like that? Has that come up for discussion?
The dry weather work typically is done in July, August, maybe September, but weather's gotten weird lately,
Yeah.
so we can have big storms in those months.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think the last question I had was, and I know that we don't, I think I saw a note about not prescribing means and methods, but would this be like through a coffer dam or something
Yeah,
like
so
that?
there'd be all kinds of dams that they would have to set up and redirect the Conestoga
Yeah.
around the area of excavation. With all this paperwork, it's just boring as spit, but when they get out there and start doing the work, I'm gonna be all over it.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna be keen on seeing how they do this.
Okay. The one last question I had was to understand this figure here. It says that there's a concrete infill. Well, like, what was the purpose of this? Is that buried? Is that down under subterranean? Or is that something what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Can you point out what you're looking at?
It was like
Sure.
some concrete here on this right here that I was just, looks like it's
Right here.
in the well, no, on the
feature.
riverbank.
Hi, Glenn.
Would it be under the river? Or?
Yeah, it would be under the water, but concrete infill sounds to me like there's some sort of void that's in the
Yeah.
bed of the river that they're gonna fill in with concrete. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. That's all DEP.
And it's probably not the purview for what we're looking at here, but I saw it and just was curious.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Now I'm curious.
Those were my questions, which I don't have any real concerns about the modification.
Glenn, just so you're aware, we're on the first agenda item. Worries. It's all pretty straightforward to me.
Do you know what the concrete infill is, John?
I scratching my head as well.
Okay.
It's referring to a detail. I don't know if we have that detail on another sheet. It
What's-
says CD3A.
CD3. Oh, I know what it is. So, this is the proposed pipe, and this is in section, okay? So it's going this way across the river, right? And because it's creating this concrete, what they're saying is that they're putting this concrete here to force the water to go up and over rather than to scour underneath. We've seen that happen in the past with pipes that are, even if they're buried under
Yeah.
gravel and boulders and stuff, it can pipe underneath there and push that pipe up. So this is the detail here. So pipe section is there. That's the concrete encased around it. The flow is going this way, and they're pushing the water up over top. Again, I don't know if it's a great idea or not, but that's DEP. And
It
so-
looks like it's right at the stationing where the the top of the bedrock dips down to below the top of their concrete encasement.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I imagine it's to
Fill in that void.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Extend it out.
Yep. What?
I was gonna tell you what it was, but
Oh,
yourself.
you're the best. Watching me grow.
What's the need for a project? Is it just general deterioration of the existing pipe?
I don't know.
And DEP will cover any sort of safeguards against a spill, sewer spill. Wow,
Yeah,
that'll be all under there.
yeah.
I think it's pretty straightforward. Does anyone have any gripe with moving it to an action item?
I'll move to recommend to the supervisors. Sorry, where's the sheet going? I had 4 agendas, now I have none. Here we go. Recommend to approve for supervisors. I still don't have what I need. Where's the modification number?
337?
337? Yes, so, here we go. The waiver requested for section 229-21 for minor land disturbance greater than 5,000 square feet within a floodplain.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And with that, I'll hand, what?
Glenn.
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 With that, I will hand the meeting off to our chairman.
And my apologies for my lateness. So the second item is another briefing item, LP BC 338, Lancaster Township Wallbank Road Municipal Campus, Stormwater Management Site Plan.
Good evening, everyone. In a slightly different forum, physically, I would invite y'all to come and stand or sit if you need to at the table. I have a couple of plans to share with you, and Devin is here as well. Devin's our Public Works Superintendent. Does anybody need, Glenn, do you need a chair?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
You see over my head.
Yeah, with this. Camera's gonna do what the camera's gonna do this time.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're calling this Wallbank Road Municipal Campus because it has multiple uses that are looking to be achieved. And the main entrance is off of Wallbank Road. It is within the township, although in some of the properties adjacent to it are within the city. This is property that's owned by the Diocese of the Catholic Church and is used partially by the St. Joe's Cemetery. And then, David, if you wanted to come up and look as well, it's perfectly acceptable. So there's an existing cemetery. For quite a few years, this area was farmed. And then there's also the athletic fields, commonly called St. Joe's Athletic Fields. As in discussions with Lancaster Rec, the Public Works Department has been sort of visualizing some things that we could do here. And the main impetus that we're looking to achieve first is to relocate the woody waste facility. Is everybody familiar with where that is today in the quarry off of, okay, and what that is? There's, you know, people bring in yard waste and whatnot, and we're looking to be able to do more things here than we're able to do there in terms of composting and turning and so forth. The Public Works Department has been seeking grant funding for this and was successful in getting a good award. But there are other things we're hoping to be able to do as well. One of the things we're hoping to be able to do, if not now, but in the near future, would be some improvements to the recreational fields, including additional parking and related stormwater management facilities here in this pink area here. We're then also hopefully doing this area in green, which is an overflow parking for the athletic facilities. There also would be at some point in the future some sort of football field or flat type of athletic field here. We're trying to create a buffer. We have to create a buffer of 300 feet from adjoining residential properties, their houses, 300 feet to the woody waste facility itself. So
What municipality is that in the bottom there?
here, this is still Lancaster Township. Yeah, this is the city boundary here. So that's all the city. Well, I mean, that little corner is Lancaster Township too, but don't get me started. Yeah, this is everything we're proposing work to be done in is Lancaster Township. The third thing we're hoping to do, but not likely to achieve with the grant funding that we've gotten, is to extend this road, not road, but this access drive farther out here with a couple of community garden areas and a small parking lot down here with a trail connector to an old alley that ties it into Rosedale. So that's sort of the third add option, if you will. So the first thing we're looking to do is to seek a stormwater management plan approval through the township and an NPDS permit through the County Conservation District. We just got the plans from Harbor Engineering. I'll be doing my review on this. I don't know if there are other waiver requests that are going to need to be looked at. I really haven't gotten into this plan a whole lot other than the basic overall layout and design. So Devin's here to answer questions about the operation of this and what the function of this would be, and we'll try to answer any other questions you might have. So did I miss anything, Devin?
Yeah, just to be clear, Ben, the grant funding that we received was $200,000, and my rough estimate is that is physically only going to build the stormwater and the woody waste facility. Everything Ben has highlighted there, pink, yellow, and orange, is not going to be able to be completed during the construction of the woody waste facility. But as part of this land development plan, the NPDS permit is for a 5-year timeline, so we're hoping that we can get additional funding to do these other things without having to go through the whole permit process once again. So that's the idea behind all of that.
Right.
So when you say that the grant money will cover the infiltration with the stormwater plan, that stormwater management covers the future work in the orange and pink?
It
that right?
covers the green and the orange. The pink basically would be covered by stormwater facilities that are here. This is there's sort of a high ridge line here, so you know the water flows this way.
But the grant funding is only for construction, not for planning.
Sure, right.
So the township is ticking and paying for the planning and the permitting. The grant funding only pays for the physical construction, which we think that the construction of the woody waste area, which is that darker area, and the stormwater basin that's needed for that is going to take up most of that grant, if not more than most of that grant.
I guess that should have better rephrase my questions. The stormwater facilities are specific to the woody facility, not for the whole not for the whole plan.
And what's your timeline for the other submissions that you're going to be making?
We've already submitted for the MPDS permit,
Mhm.
so once that comes through, we'll be looking to go to bid as soon as we have approvals, and then hopefully get groundbreaking shortly after we get an award.
Yeah, and Devin and his crew are going to try and do as much of, or whatever tasks they can themselves. So this will be a very active site for public works, not just with the stormwater management facility, but a lot of other pieces and parts that they'll be out there doing.
We'll be uniquely bidding this to allow us to use as much of the funding as we have at our fingertips, and then complete the project with what we have in-house as well.
Yeah.
Is it largely grading and
Stormwater, yeah.
that's like the main efforts?
Yeah, so just to be clear, this whole area here is gonna be an impervious space. It's gonna be a milling stone base, and that's where the residents will come in here. There'll be a shed right there and a gate. They'll enter in here, drop off their stuff in a pile, and then exit here. We'll also have mulching compost here where they can load and get loaded up. And then as that pile grows, just like we have the pile down there, once a year we'll grind that pile up, and then be able to actually have enough space to make the properly sized windrows to turn and process that mulch, and have some on hand to give and provide to residents. We do that today, just the space is way too small for the amount of material we get in a year's time. And to try and keep costs as low as possible to operate the facility, we only get the grinder in once a year, because that's like an $8,000 expense, and we don't want to have to do that twice a year.
And this will replace that facility, not additional?
Correct, completely replace it. It'll be about 3 times the size of the current one. Yeah. As well as additional recreational space and future improvements, which is what we had the lease agreement with the diocese for, and that was all written up. 2018 we did that. We did a lease agreement with the diocese, I think.
And you want it to be impervious for, just so it doesn't erode and cause problems traveling or like traversing it and...
Yeah, you have to have an impervious space to process mulch. You
Okay.
can't let it seep into the ground and all that stuff, yeah. We're following the DEP's regulations for a composting facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
This entire area is under common ownership, it's all the diocese property?
Correct. The entire parcel is 44 acres, and we have a lease agreement on 23. Don't hold me to those numbers, something to that effect, yeah.
Got it. And that lease agreement is from when, 2018?
Yeah, it's a 25-year reoccurring lease.
25 years.
Yeah.
And is this sort of use been in the works
It
for a
was-
while?
Yeah, this was the
lease.
intent of the lease, was to have this facility there. What the intent was to always have this and provide additional recreation to the residents of the township. And then whatever else we can do with that area, Ben has highlighted in orange there. Yeah.
What's the extent of the area that the township leases?
So that's pretty much, I don't know if you have it here, but basically everything Ben has here, this red line, all of this is the leased land. Everything you see here is pretty much the leased land, the whole way over to Wallbank Road, so that whole entire space. And that's all spelled out within the lease in a map and shown and agreed to by the diocese.
Is there any opportunity to create almost a loop with the trail? So someone could actually just come here to, if they're not even using the fields, come here to just walk?
Yes.
Yeah, so it is proposed here that this loop would connect and come to that parking lot, and then also connect, like I said, ultimately out to Rosedale.
And then the trails comes here as well. It's already in.
Oh, okay.
So is there an opportunity to, at this connection point, loop it back around?
The grades don't allow for that to happen
I
currently.
see it's pretty steep.
Yeah.
I mean, could possibly just tie it into the edge of this and put it on the side of this driveway. And come that way, and that gives someone an opportunity to do a full loop around the park instead of, I guess if you were to come in the park from this way, you're limited to just
One
come
of
out
the,
back that way or go over here.
you know, one of the things that, during this whole process and through the lease agreement that was agreed upon was the cemetery was trying to get people around the cemetery, didn't want people to go through it. They were trying to get them around it. So we were trying to do everything to meet that ask of the church, was to go around the cemetery, not go through it. And they didn't want to have a path that led people closer to the cemetery. They wanted to direct people around it and up here onto Fremont Street and around it.
So, that's what this is, right?
Correct. Now, people naturally can walk on the already paved path within the cemetery here and come out into Bousman. So technically, once this is connected, they could walk up, come down Rosedale, and then walk right in the already paved path and go around that way. Of paths that already exist, so then we wouldn't need additional trails in those steep slopes. The cemetery has a lot of problems with knocking over gravestones and that type of stuff. And folks not cleaning up after their dogs.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
I saw that the trail is going in that spillway of the stormwater facility. And I imagine that the spillway is never going to be used. Maybe once or twice. I don't know, did they design it just for a clog condition or does it actually get activated?
I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay. It's not the end of the world, but some risk to the infrastructure there should it ever get activated, because it's on the downstream side of the slope instead of in the flat area of the spillway. That stood out to me. And the other thing here felt like this is just gonna get walked over if the trail could connect to those bathrooms. So someone walking here right now wants to use these bathrooms, has to walk all the way around if they want to stay on paved trail. Naturally, everyone's just going to cut right over.
Yeah,
It makes sense
you're
to
right.
just connect it.
That's an extremely steep bank right there. I guess we can look at that.
It's right here behind it.
It's hard to tell at this
It
scale,
is.
but
This is the pavilion, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
The existing pavilion.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
because they
again-
do parking the whole way along the tree line as well, a lot of
Correct.
times when they do
Yeah.
games. So
Mhm.
this is already, kind of gets eroded.
Yeah, so the idea behind the parking here is we have 50 spots allocated here, and this would be, that no one would be able to enter the grass from this point. We would find a way to rock border or some type of border so residents can't drive in there, which would then force people to park in the overflow lots. I've seen it down there from talking to the folks that run that, and sometimes they do have 80 cars in there when they have football and softball games going on. That's
Yeah.
3 or 4 weekends a year, and they said that they can manage that. In the meantime, they can still park, they can park here, even if this isn't paved, it's a grass area now, it would stay a grass area until that's developed, but once the millings pile's gone, it's there.
I'd like to see some kind of crosswalk here for people and folks in Kensington who want to cross that don't have to brave Wabank. Some kind of mid-block crossing, because right now we're inviting folks to come. I mean, they're already coming here now for the fields, but we're inviting them to come into a new township park, and there's no way for them to cross Wabank.
And maybe you're seeing that differently. The trail, is the trail shown up there coming over that far? Because the trail just goes to the parking lot corner on this plan.
Well, and that's also a good point that I wanted
Yeah.
to bring up. So someone walking from here to here
Yeah,
can't access the trail without walking onto the driveway.
yeah.
And I mean, it's not gonna be a busy road, but it would be nice to add a feature for them to be able to walk outside of the roadway to access the fields. Because you know kids are gonna wanna come use the fields. And I'm sure they would do that now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they do it already.
Yeah. But it would be
They're-
good to at least make the crossing safe for them. to
That
do
could definitely be something we could consider when we go to install the trail on that
Mhm.
section of the park.
Mhm.
But that would require PennDOT, highway occupancy permit and permitting through PennDOT, 'cause Wallbank
Sure.
Road is a PennDOT
State.
roadway. So maybe when we go to do the trail work up there, we can evaluate that at the time. But the main focus of this is to get the Woody Way site operational there. Like you said, these are phased areas to focus on. So we would try and focus on getting the trail around the Woody Waste facility first, and then working our way up there. Maybe when we look at actually bidding for the parking lot area and the stormwater that's on that section, we would then look at where we're crossing Wallbank Road and try and get that connectivity, because if we do put a crosswalk there, we then have to put an ADA ramp on the other side and connect it to the sidewalk in Kensington Club as well. So we would have to look at that whole corridor, and then you have that hill and the speed of the road, and there's a lot of
I mean,
factors.
you'd have to do a traffic study.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, PennDOT would require it for a mid-block crossing. But the grant funds for a public park are easy. The grant funds for a Woody Waste facility are not easy. I think there's a, bigger picture planning would be great. I think this connection through that alley is a fantastic idea, because looking at the next township park is community park. So someone could realistically, if this gets built, walk from community park to here on these small streets in that neighborhood.
Exactly the thought behind it all, yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. And then to Manor Shopping Center for the apartment complexes and everything. Yeah. Walkability.
I think I saw some vegetation clearing. Will there be some other tree plantings
Yes.
throughout the park?
Yep.
You plant trees where they park on the grass, they want to know.
Oh, they still do, because they do it behind the building at Wheatland. So there are trees that are right there, and the people that park on West End Avenue now pull their cars off the street and onto where those trees are on school district property.
So that's the basic idea. We'll have a letter potentially to you for next month's meeting, and kind of take it from there.
Great, great. That's really good.
Thank you.
You weren't going to talk about the traffic circle?
What's that?
You weren't going to talk about the traffic circle?
Oh, no, I think it's great.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, I love, that's one of the things, just the getting in and out of the facility is just how we do that. Knowing how to use this facility, I kind of wanted to have that notion to get out, so I think it's a good thing to do.
I agree.
Thank you. So there's, I see no other thing, any new business?
Not really new business. We did receive an application today for another modification request for a minor land disturbance, and this is for the Comet Field along 741 Comet Field Telecommunications Tower. Someone's proposed a telecommunications tower, 100 or so feet tall. Went through the zoning hearing board, got that approval, and then they have a relatively small area that exceeds 5,000 square feet with a small infiltration facility that either needs a stormwater management plan or relief to process it as a minor land disturbance. So we just got that earlier today. So that would probably be next up.
And after that, what would be the next thing that we'd expect to see? Like, when's the next time we expect to see something from the prison?
They were thinking they would submit formal land development plans this year. That hasn't occurred, is not likely to occur. I'm meeting tomorrow with them and with the County Conservation District on a pre-application or pre-submittal meeting with the County Conservation District and the folks from the county for the prison. So we'll see what different things they might have dreamed up since the last time I saw their set of plans, and have a few other things to chat to them about. So.
Trying to think if we have any other things that sort of have, been lying dormant for a while.
Haven't heard anything from the Wheatland Middle School rebuild. That's probably sometime next year, but I don't have any schedule on that. And I'm not really sure what else we might have in the pipeline, so to speak.
I'm driven by Burroughs, it looks nice.
Yeah?
I'm rushing to do that.
I said, I'm driven by Burroughs.
Yes,
It
yes.
looks nice.
They're really rushing to try and meet their own deadlines, but yeah, they're coming down to the wire. Popeyes?
Okay, any other questions about new business, about any old business?
They're so, sure, go ahead.
We heard from Popeyes. I was, I think, came to the panel
Speaking of doing-
4 years ago. It went away, just kind of expired, and nothing was done on it. They actually approached us recently, and they seem to be full speed ahead on it. But we haven't gotten anything, so it's not officially for you guys yet. But if they do what they say they're going to do, we should probably be seeing something on that.
The Taco Bell renovation must have really, got them going. We can make it work.
I really don't understand their mindset. They spent all this money on Popeyes and just let it not go anywhere.
That was before my time here. What's the site for that?
Stone Mill Plaza.
Yeah.
The old PNC Bank building that's
Yeah.
out front. They're looking to demo that and build a whole new Popeyes, roughly the same footprint.
Okay. Still access from the same main driveway up to the
Yeah.
plaza.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see the drive-through design.
When did that building go dark?
I think about a month after I moved in,
Several years
which
ago.
was in 2007.
Is it that long?
No, it was still open. It
I
was
don't
still
think
open
so.
then. It was.
Really? Well, it wasn't.
It was
Wasn't
because
long after that.
I went
Long
there
time.
for work, for bank checks at work,
Okay.
and we took over in 2010.
Okay. Yeah, but still,
I'd say closer to
15 years at least.
No, I used to work at that Starbucks. There's no way it's been 15 years. I was getting quarters and pennies over there.
That place has been closed.
Did you say
That
all the pennies?
off-camera voice is that of Tony Dastra, the Director of Communication for Lancaster
But it has
uh,
been a
Township.
long time. I agree. It has been a number of years.
Okay, any announcements or anything else?
Glenn, just one
Yeah, go
more
ahead, John.
old business item. I was thinking about it. We, when Bill came and spoke here earlier in 2025 regarding when we were talking about possibly updating the comp plan and/or looking at the zoning in one of the last infill properties in the township. I'd like to at least look at that, the zoning on that infill property for the parking lot that's in Hamilton Park. If we want to add an agenda item for our next meeting to at least discuss what the existing zoning is and if we have any ideas on proposed zoning to better facilitate future development there.
Any movement or any things happened since Bill was here? Ben, do you know?
Relative to the ideas about that particular parcel, there have been some informal discussions with advocates, resident advocates for doing something different. And I'm not sure where all that left off. But we've received no direction to prepare any text amendments, to evaluate any alternative zoning classifications for that area.
So with that being said, perhaps you could ask Bill when would be an appropriate time in the near future that he can come back and give us an update and provide us with an opportunity for input, just to know where are things, as much as he can share.
John, you can chat with Bill about that?
I will.
Okay.
There was some interest in the property. Obviously, nothing formal that has come to any of us, to the township, but there has been some interest in it. Outside of that, I don't really have anything to give you, but I'll chat with Bill Aldine.
Yeah,
and
we
see.
appreciate you.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I recall Bill kind of challenging us here when he came for us to come up with some proposed ideas for that zoning there. Do you remember, am I remembering that correctly?
That was one of the areas that he had mentioned as a possible, like reuse type thing.
Yeah, since it's one of the last
Yeah.
infill properties.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna, my prediction would be that we're gonna see more redevelopment, reuse of existing properties. We don't have many parcels that are, large vacant parcels that would be worth, to develop for most developers. So there's not a lot of that, so I think that leaves us with redevelopment and reuse. So I think that's something we need to be mindful of. I think that was one of the things he mentioned as well with the ordinance, some of the ordinances, that we would maybe look at that, start working or honing that in a little better in preparation for it. But yeah, I can have a chat with him again.
Because it's zoned local commercial right now. And to me, that if that parcels to get developed, it feels like a good use of that parcel would be some kind of mixed use,
Yeah.
residential combined with commercial.
That all being said, so how about let's make it an agenda item, just call it discussion at this point, since we
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah, let's make an agenda item, call it, discussion of that property
Okay.
relative to the, various issues that we just mentioned.
Just a heads up that if it is an agenda item, it gets published and some of the resident advocates may show up looking for action being taken. So that might raise expectations of people. So
It could just be a general zoning discussion.
Zoning update discussion.
Perfect.
Any other thoughts from the board here? Okay, thanks, Ben, for bringing it up. Yeah, sounds like a good solution. Anything else before?
I'll just add that the two ordinances that were before the commission a few months ago have now cleared the planning commission for the county, and hopefully, possibly January's meeting, maybe February, they'll be on the agenda for the Board of Supervisors.
Great. It's right on schedule.
Yep.
Anything else before we close the formal meeting? If not, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.